Namaste students. Today I am going to discuss about the topic physiology of microorganism. So what is the meaning of the physiology? Physiology is the term which is used to indicate the requirement of microorganism for the growth. Requirement of microorganism for the growth. So what are the requirement? The first requirement for the microorganism for the growth is nutrient media and nutrients. So basically, microorganisms grow on the natural conditions, but we can prepare a some synthetic artificial media on which the microbes can grow. So a medium is a support which will allow the microbes for the multiplication, and these culture media contain some nitrogen bases, some carbon sources, and protein sources, which allow the microbes for their growth. All the nutrients will have carbohydrate source also. So these are the basic requirement for the microbes to grow. Similarly, some iron and some ions can also be provided to the microorganism for the growth, which will allow the microbes for the uh, multiplication. But without the except the culture media, there are also some other requirements, means the environmental conditions which will also support the growth of microbes. If a microbe will not get any kind of environmental condition, then they cannot grow properly and they cannot multiply. So the first factor which is required for the microbes is the temperature. Temperature is a major environment for the controlling microbial growth. For example, the most of the bacteria will grow at the 37 degrees centigrade and around the 37 degrees centigrade. So they will better grow at this temperature. Similarly, fungal cultures and fungi will grow in the natural conditions at uh, 30 degrees centigrade, 25 to 30 degrees centigrade. So this temperature range will support the growth of microorganisms, which are fungi. So there are some optimum temperature. Optimum temperature is the temperature at which the microbes will grow very efficiently. Means at this optimum temperature, the enzymatic reactions are at maximal possible rate. Because these enzymatic conditions will allow the microbes for the synthesis of the replication and their metabolism also. So for each microbial growth, the enzymes are very essential, and these enzymes will work at an optimum temperature. So the temperature is very important thing. At the minimum temperature, the membrane will get into the gel-like formation, and the transport form process will be slowed down. Okay, and similarly, the growth rate will be also slow down. In the maximum temperature, the protein will get denatured, and the cytoplasmic membrane will be uh, collapsed. There will be a possibility of the lysis during the high temperature. So there are the different types of microorganisms. Psychrophiles which grow at 4 degrees centigrade, mesophiles which grow at uh, approximately mid temperature such as 39 degrees centigrade. So this is the range of mesophiles. Thermophiles which can grow approximately 60 degrees centigrade. Hyperthermophiles which can tolerate a temperature of approximately 100 degrees centigrade, and hyperthermophiles which have the capability to tolerate a temperature of 115 degrees centigrade. So these are the temperature range, but the optimum temperature can also vary because uh, the optimum temperature at the optimum temperature the enzyme will work very properly. Next is the pH. pH is also a very essential requirement for the growth of the microorganism. If microbes will find a optimum pH for the growth, they will their enzymes will work properly and their growth will be multiplied. So, organisms that grow best at low pH are called the acidophiles. Means the pH is lower than 7 when these microbes will grow at the pH at low, which is lower than 7 are known as the acidophiles, and the microbes which grow at the at the pH above 7 are known as the alkaliphiles. So this is the range of the uh, food conditions at which the microbes can grow. These are acidophiles and alkaliphiles. Some organisms have evolved to grow at high pH, but most organisms grow between the pH range of the 6 to 8. The next requirement is the salinity. Salinity is a very important requirement because the salt concentration will help the microbes to maintain their osmotic balance. If there will be not any proper osmotic balance, the microbes can shrink or be can also shrink and can also there can be fatty cells and the water can insert inside the cell of the bacterial cell and the cell can burst. So they need particular saline conditions. So halophiles are the organisms which can tolerate high salt concentration, and the extreme halophiles are the microbes which can tolerate a 15% of the saline range. Halotolerant, halophile, and the extreme halophiles are the ranges of the microbes. Next is the requirement of oxygen. Oxygen is also a very important requirement uh, because aerobic microbes will need oxygen for their growth, but anaerobe will not require the oxygen and will be killed when the oxygen will be present. Facultative organisms can live with or without oxygen. Aerotolerant anaerobes can tolerate oxygen and grow in its presence. Mic- Microaerophiles are the aerobes that can use oxygen only when it is present at the level of the air, at the level that is reduced from the air. So this is the list of microbes which can tolerate, including the obligative, facultative, microaerophilic, aerotolerant, and obligate. So they are divided into two, aerobic and anaerobic. This is a picture which indicate the growth of microbes at different oxygen concentrations. Okay, so when the microbes will grow at this stage, it can indicate that they are aerobic. Okay, if there is not any growth at this phase, we can say that the microbes are anaerobic, and they are completely aerobic. They are completely aerobic. They are not anaerobic, facultative anaerobic. They are completely aerobic, and these microbes can grow at both aerobic and anaerobic conditions. So these are some specific techniques which need to be developed for the aerobic and anaerobic conditions. And there are some toxic conditions which are present for the growth of microbes when the oxygen is present. Okay, because oxygen can sometimes can uh, react to some chemicals which can cause the causing of the some toxic effects. Hydrogen peroxide is one of the those forms that can be neutralized by the catalyst. For example, if two H2O2 and will form, they will create the 2H2O2 form that is a very toxic form. So our lecture is over here. Thank you very much.